everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee. If you're new, thank you for clicking and watching today's video. I did a Q&A on my Instagram and I wrote down all of your most common questions, so we're gonna answer them right now. Number one, where am I moving to? I'm not moving anywhere. I'm actually staying right here. Some of you guys actually thought I was moving back home to Florida because I mentioned in a vlog that I was stressed about my move, but I meant like my moving decision. I was stressed about that, but I am staying here for the meantime. I actually just signed my lease. So number two, my favorite thriller novel. A lot of you guys are asking me about books. So my favorite thriller, you guys know I love a good thriller, is The Silent Patient. I love that book. It's like a psychological thriller. It's really, really good. It's actually his first novel, so he has another one coming up soon and I'm so excited to go get it. Why do I not do law of attraction videos anymore? So I stopped, I think, in the past like year or two, and the reason I don't anymore is just because I don't really align with that, I don't know, side of YouTube. A lot of the things that people were talking about in that world were like very material, and I don't know, I just didn't align with it as much. And I think there's really great things in the law of attraction, like gratitude and like focusing on what you want in life and like going after your goals and manifesting. But a lot of like what people talk about with that kind of stuff, it's very hokey and it's just not realistic. And especially everything that we went through last year and everything I've personally been through, it just was not the best thing for me and something I didn't really feel like promoting. So I just kind of shifted, and you know, I think that's normal with faith and spirituality, is that you're ever changing and growing, and I just grew out of it. Mental health update. How is your heart? Somebody asked me, which I thought was so sweet. Honestly, not the best when it comes to my social media stuff, which I kind of opened up about in a separate vlog. It's just becoming super negative, and I'm kind of like not aligning with or like getting excited about filming certain things that I used to get really super excited about. And I think some of the reasons is because the negativity. So I have deleted my Twitter. I disabled the Instagram like DMs, and I'm also not reading my comments anymore on YouTube, and I just started that recently, and so far I feel lighter. I do sometimes, just because of notifications, will see like a random comment or something, and every time I see it, it just like puts me in like the worst mood, and I'm like, why would I do that to myself? So I've been trying not to focus on like numbers. I've been trying not to focus on negative comments and just like comments in general, and just kind of trying to align myself back to enjoying this. I'm feeling better just even not reading comments. What is my Enneagram? Myers-Briggs personality type. So I am, not surprisingly, number one. I took it a while ago and I was number one, the perfectionist, like type A. My Myers-Briggs test, I haven't taken it in a while, but it's always been an ENTJ, borderline INTJ. Why I'm reluctant with Christianity. This is such a personal experience. That's another reason I didn't really align with the law of attraction thing, was that I was like pushing spirituality, where it's like your journey, and like you can hear my story and like it can help motivate you and stuff, but you really have to experience and dive deep within yourself to find out what you align with and like what connects you with yourself. And for me, it's been Christianity. I don't like talking about it just because I get a lot of negative feedback from it. I think people just have this idea of what a Christian is. You know, meeting someone at that mindset is very difficult. I always like to spread good and positive, and I think that's another reason why I'm like not connecting with YouTube anymore. Is like I'm very closed off now, whereas in the beginning of YouTube I'm so open and like I talk a lot about stuff, but now it's like I'm reluctant to even open up about certain things in my life because I fear judgment. It's just such an unhealthy thing. If you don't like me, if the person watching my videos just doesn't like me anymore, I am out of my job. Like my job is to get people to like me, and I'm kind of like in that mindset now where I don't ever want to become that. I just want to do what makes me happy and like, you know, put out content that I align with and not try to people please my way through it. Like I started it for a much bigger reason than to like gain a following or get money or create a business. Like I really enjoyed what I did. I'm just reluctant to a lot of things right now, and I think faith, politics, you know, a lot of stuff right now, it's just very scary to even open up about, just because there's so much resistance and judgment towards stuff. So I like talking about spirituality, I like talking about religion, but I'm reluctant to speak so openly about it because I fear people bashing me for it, which is sad, but I'm trying to get over it. How much do I pay for rent? A lot of you guys asked me about this, so I mean, I want to see, this is what I mean by don't open up. So I was paying upper 3,000s when I first moved in here, and because of COVID and everything, I had negotiated my lease down and I got an extra free 3 months, so I'm paying like lower 2,000s now. Rent typically here would be upper 3,000s, but I think just because of everything going on right now, it's going down a little bit, and I know it's super expensive. You have to keep in mind, like, a lot of the things that I do in my life and my life decisions are kind of solely based around my job, and I found this apartment to be more on the the less expensive side here in the city, which is crazy, but the area that I live in is not as ideal as, let's say, like Lower East Side, or like just in certain areas where the rent for this apartment could be at least like 7-8 grand. 3 things I'm grateful for. I thought that was a really good one. You guys name yours too. Number 1 is my spirituality and my faith in Christianity. Lately it's just been such a breath of fresh air. I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I've been given from my job and the freedom. I'm super thankful for you guys for being sweet, all you sweet souls out there. My job prior to social media, I was actually a student and I worked in a investment real estate company with 3 guys who would like flip houses, and I was just kind of the girl tagging along as like the little intern, but I was getting paid a lot of money for people my age. So I saved up a whole bunch of money. I started my YouTube channel, and it kind of like literally fed my YouTube channel, my hobby, if you will. And then once I started like breaking even, I got rid of that job because it kind of went down a route that I wasn't really aligning with. Like they were kind of shady, to be honest, in terms of getting real estate, which I was so into real estate for a while, but then once I got in it, I was like, whoa, this is scary. It's a very hustle job. It's very grimy. It's very like salesy, and it just wasn't me. And it was kind of dangerous for a girl, especially at the time. Like I remember thinking like, I'm gonna go to open houses on Saturdays and Sundays, but then they were telling me like, be careful when you walk in a room with a stranger, like make sure your back is always facing away from them just in case. Like there's just things that I just was not comfortable with. Not only was I uncomfortable with it, it was super shady, and I didn't like it. So eventually I left the real estate company, but I couldn't like work full-time in YouTube. So I started doing brand ambassador work, which is basically at the time going to like events and stuff and like working for a company, and they have like those tents and they give out free samples. It was a really fun job just because I was making people have fun. I was like literally just like throwing out free samples, and it was just going to like concerts and basketball games, and it was just really a lot of fun. Eventually I was able to do YouTube full time, and I was like, this is my dream, and I took it. Other influencers that make me happy. So my girlfriends, Kelly Stamps, I wrote them all down, Brooke Michio, Haley Hoffman-Smith. They're amazing influencers, and they're my actual friends. Other people that I actually really like too. AJ2, she hasn't posted in quite a while, but she is where I find a lot of my music. She's so freaking funny. I really like Chelsea Trevor. She's really good with like fitness, fashion, like healthy foods. Another like lifestyle, like really good fitness person is Sammy Clark. I've recently gone on a binger with her. I really like her videos. Michelle Reed is just amazing if you like, you know, calm, just like homey feels. Stargirl the Practical Witch for like tarot reading. I don't know why, but she like speaks so much into my life. It's actually insane. Daily Dose of Internet, I freaking love. I can sit there and watch his videos forever. They just put a smile on my face. Trey Kennedy is freaking hilarious. I freaking love Trey Kennedy. He made my whole 2020. Like I would just sit there and pound out his videos, and I would laugh till I cry. And then Steven and Holly Furtick, which are my pastors, so they're great. I really like, in terms of like Instagram content and stuff, Hunter Schafer. She's from Euphoria, and Zendaya, of course, is like freaking amazing, but they're more so just like aesthetic. Like they're just like so beautiful, and I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, those are the people that I personally follow. Favorite places in the city. So I really liked Carbone. That was a recent Italian restaurant my friend took me to. It was super upscale. It's a Michelin star, but the food was freaking phenomenal. She also took me to Cathedral, which was insane. I think it's the same owners as Tao. I haven't been inside yet just because there hasn't been indoor dining. I've walked through the inside, and it actually goes down and it goes to this terrace with like this greenery outside. It's a very like beautiful place. There's a place right down the street called Le Privé, which is a French like bistro where my friends and I kind of like go a lot, and they always give us free alcohol. It's so much fun. All the way ranging from really good champagne to like freaking tequila shots. They're great. Naya is a really good like kind of quicker fast food, like Mediterranean food that we and my boyfriend always tend to gravitate towards. I've yet to go to like restaurants. It's just really hard during COVID. Why did I move to the city? Social media and like getting out of my comfort zone. I thought like I was gonna get a job full time. I thought I was gonna be going to like social media events. So freaking world shut down. So yeah, just social media purposes. It was a good opportunity to, you know, meet influencers and stuff. Where I was living in Florida, there was just like nothing of that going on, and everyone worked a 9 to 5. So it's just, I was very out of place. I thought I would fit in better here. My height, I am 5'7". Somebody asked me if I have imposter syndrome, and I was like, what the heck is this? It's a loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. It disproportionately affects high achieving people who find it very difficult to accept their accomplishments. There's like a test online that you can take where it's like It's one of those maps where like it asks you a yes or no question and you kind of gravitate, and at the end it'll tell you yes or no. The Superwoman, Superman. You feel you should be able to excel at every role you take in your life. So there's the expert, the soloist, the natural genius, the Superwoman, and the perfectionist. Honestly, I didn't even know what this was. This is a perfect representation of what it is. Someone goes, how are you doing? And you're like, I'm just fine. But like deep down you're like, you're a failure, you suck, you're fake, just stop trying. They know, give up, stop. I mean, I guess everyone is like at some point second guessing themselves. Who knows? I don't know. What gives you chills? That's a good question. Music and like super corny scenes in movies and shows. Like super deep emotional stuff. Where I store my books, I get that a lot. I store them up in my closet on the very top shelf. It's kind of like hidden away. Every time I go back home, I'll bring some of my books and then I store them at my mom's library. What is it that makes me happy instantly? My mama. My biggest fear, being alone. I don't know why it scares me to be alone. Fires really freaking scare me. Like if I even smell something burning, I'm like, is there a fire, something happening? And I was like, you freaking died in a fire in your past life. Flying surprisingly makes me really scared now. I never used to be scared, but I get so freaking anxious when I fly. I just think like, we're gonna die, like we're gonna fall. And then I think like, why is it the turbulence like this? I don't know, I just picture us dying. It's really scary. Will I ever quit YouTube? I don't think I'll ever fully quit, but I think I would do something else and then just keep this as a hobby, but I would still keep it like a business in my head, if that makes sense. I don't know, I feel like right now all I do is YouTube, so it's very consuming and it is my life. Back in the day, it was just something I did for fun and it was really just so fun. I don't know. So I would never like step away from it, but I would probably do something else as like my main job and then keep YouTube like separate. If I didn't have YouTube, what would I be doing? Honestly, now that I'm here and I know like more about myself as like an adult, I would love to be a teacher. I think teaching is something that would be so much fun. I love like teaching people in general. I think working with kids is really fun and it's like you're doing something meaningful in life. And I love organizing. Any near-death experiences? I've never had any near-death experiences, but I'm like obsessed with near-death experiences. I love reading about them. I think they're very true, but I have never personally had them. But if you guys want to read a book about them, Life After Life is a really, really good book. I'll pop it down below. My go-to Starbucks order right now, I mean, I haven't been ordering Starbucks at all. When I was back home, I was ordering the nitro with ice and a pump of the pistachio flavor, which is so good, and light sweet cream. So good. My biggest change since church has been, my lisp just came out so hard today. My biggest change since church. My anxiety levels. I feel like sometimes I get in my head a lot and then it consumes me for days on end. And like now, whenever I watch church or I think about like God or something like that, like I just instantly feel relieved and I feel okay. And I'm just like not feeling as pressured to perform or like make decisions in my life or anything like that. Yeah, I just feel a sense of like being okay and like bliss. If you had to give up one, books or baths, what would you do? Which is an evil question for me because I freaking, those are my heart. That's what makes me happy. Honestly, I would have to give up baths. Books over baths. That's the end of my Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much and we'll do another one of these soon. Just follow me on Instagram and I'll ask you guys on my story. So yeah, thank you. Love you.